Hi everyone, in this lecture we are going to talk about pseudo classes. So pseudo classes are special states that element may have. There are a lot of pseudo classes in CSS, but we are going to cover some of the most important ones. But keep in mind that every one of them has a unique application. So first off, let's go ahead and let's create some HTML so we can take a look at pseudo classes. First, I'm going to create an HTML link. And for href, I'm just going to provide a number sign. When you provide number sign for the href of a link, it is going to navigate to the same web page. And I'm also going to create a form, and let's get rid of the action. And in here, I'm going to say this is going to be an input type of text, and I'm going to provide a placeholder name. There we go. Let's go ahead and let's save that. So let me just open this with live server. There we go. So let's dive into CSS. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to style the link just a little bit. So I'm going to grab it and I'm going to say margin bottom. Let's provide a margin bottom of 15 pixels. Now, anchor element or anchors in HTML, they're inline elements. We have not talked about what are inline elements, what are block level elements. We are going to talk about those later in this course, but essentially what an inline element is, that it cannot accept margins. Just keep that in mind. So even though I have provided it with 50 pixels of margin, it cannot accept it. It accepts margin on the sides, but it cannot accept margin on top and bottom. Now, to make it accept margins, it has to be either an inline block element or a block level element. Therefore, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say display. So even because this is inline, I'm just going to convert it to inline block. It means that it can now accept margins. And when I save that, now you can see that the input element has been moved by 50%, 50 pixels towards the bottom. Now, let's provide a background color for our link. So I'm going to say RGBA 175, 175. And I'm also going to say 175, and the alpha channel is going to be 0.527. Let's provide a color of light slate gray, some padding, and I'm going to say text decoration none. There we go. Let's save that. So this is what we have. This is what we are going to end up with. Now, here is our anchor link. So what are actually pseudo classes? Now, pseudo classes, as I've said before, they are special states an element may have. One of those elements that usually has pseudo classes is anchors, is an HTML anchor element. So the syntax for a pseudo class is a single colon. The syntax for a pseudo element is going to be double colon. So first off, let's go ahead and let's create a pseudo class. So we are going to select an element. Pseudo classes, they are defined on existing HTML elements using the colon pseudo notation. So when you provide colon, then you specified what kind of pseudo class it is that you want to use. Now in this case, we want to use the hover pseudo class. So what does this mean? It means that whenever we hover on this link, the styles are going to change, right? I'm just going to say padding, just remove that. Let's save that. There we go. Now that is much better. I'm going to say color has to go to white. There we go. So if I just hover on it, you can see that the color from being light slate gray, it's going to go to white. Even if I just go ahead and get rid of that, nothing is going to change. It's going to go to white. There we go. So this hover is actually a state that this anchor element has. And what does that state mean? It means that you have to do something for that state to be activated, for the styles within that state to take place. And that thing is hover. There we go. There are so many different types of pseudo classes. Let's take a look at another one. Why do we have this input here? We're going to talk about the focus pseudo class, and that is whenever you click within a field, within an input field, that's when the focus pseudo class is actually activated. So let's just zoom this one in a little bit. So now you can see when I click inside here, there is some sort of black border around this input. So I'm going to say border none. Let's save that. Now when I click on it, we still see that. The reason for that is because it was not a border, it was an outline. So I'm also going to say outline none. Let's save that. And now when I click, there is nothing inside of it. There we go. So now there is nothing. The border and the outline, both of them are gone. Now let's say you want to add a border of your own choice. I'm going to say border left. 1 pixel is going to be the width. It's going to be black. The style is going to be solid. Let's say I want to apply the same border on the bottom. So let's just copy those styles, those properties. Let's just put them here. There we go. So now when you click there, you can see the border on the left and the border on the bottom. There we go. Now, in case you're wondering, when you don't click, it still has those borders. In that case, you just have to go ahead and select that input. So I'm going to say border none. There we go. So when I not clicking within that input, so when you're not clicking, it means you're not activating the focus pseudo class. Therefore, you can just apply it on this simple element. But when you click within the input and you want some stuff to happen, then you have to grab the focus pseudo class, because that's its job. That is what it is going to do. I'm just going to remove that and I'm going to go back. That's it for this lecture. See you in the next one.